Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic seer and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, September 21st, 2025, psychic crystal reading for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You may want to watch the entire video because this new moon solar eclipse is not just going to affect your sun sign only. So if you know the elements connected to your sun, your moon, your rising, and if you're born on the cusp of your sign, your cusp sign, you may want to check all of those out. Because remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, some months your psychic predictions and messages are going to come to you from there. And so you might want to check that out. Now, listen, this eclipse energy could last strongly for the first month, 3 months, and 6 months. But some eclipse energies can go out and last for a year. So this is going to go out longer than a usual new moon reading. The time frame is going to last a lot longer. And if you want to get this special video series I recorded for this eclipse for each sign of the zodiac, you can get my new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, September 21st, 2025, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings for each sign of the zodiac. You can get them on Vimeo. You can get them on my Patreon. If you go to my Patreon, the link is down below, and go to the shop tab. You can buy them individually there. You can also click on the link down below that is connected to Vimeo for this video series and select what signs you want there. You can also go to my website. I haven't been over there a while. I need to add the links over there, but you can always check at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page, and you'll see different video series, and click on the zodiac sign you want under the heading of the video you want. So all that being said, now on to your psychic crystal reading for the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. And I'm starting with the element of earth. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Big things happening. Big things happening for the earth signs and big changes. You may find that this new moon solar eclipse makes you go, my guides say, go round Robin Hood's barn to get things done. So you may find that it creates like things to take longer, or having to go out of your way to get certain things taken care of and done. You may find that you earth signs want to present something of importance. It could be to your family, like, hey, let's move. I think we'd be better moving. Or, hey, let's buy a vacation home. Instead of taking vacations every year, we just buy another place we can go to. Or, hey, let's, add an addition to the house or something. But it could also be a presentation you want to make to bosses, clients, customers, or in some fashion at work. Some of you will be very inspired to start your own business from this eclipse. You may start it in or around the eclipse on the 21st, or in October, like near the eclipse. Or within the first 3 to 6 months from the eclipse. Some of you will be starting a business. Some of you earth signs are going to feel like you want to take time out, time off, a leave of absence, or to go on a trip, and to get away. You may feel like you need a pause, a rest. Some of you may think of retiring or leaving one job and going to another, or leaving a career and going to another. But I really feel strongly that this eclipse is going to make some of the earth signs want to take a break, take time off, take a leave of absence, or go on a trip, or all of those things, maybe even combined. If you go on a job interview, I feel you will get hired. And it may even be the case where you get hired immediately, which is weird because jobs don't usually do that anymore, right? They make people wait months and months, weeks and weeks, months and months to get back to you before you find out if you get hired. And I've seen this happen to people around me. But this may be a case where you go on a job interview and they offer you the job immediately. If you had anything wrong with your nose, you may get surgery. You may get, or like if your septum is broken or crooked, or something to do with your breathing or airways, anything to do with nose related, or getting a nose job, that could come up from the energies of this eclipse for some of you earth signs over the next 6 months. Some of you earth signs may retain a lawyer and go after someone legally that owes you money. It could be a company, a big institution. It could be a company you worked for, a company you did business with. It could be an insurance company. It could be, I don't know who it is, but you could be an individual, like somebody, a person, but you may hire a lawyer to go after somebody that owes you money, and you could be successful with that. Now, here are the 3 cautions. Any stubborn or controlling nature that you have in you. Some of you may think you don't have it, and you do. Some of you may know you have it. It could rear up and could cause problems for you. So you may want to think, when you start to dig your heels in really strong and be really stubborn, maybe even a little controlling, you may want to dial that back. So, because somehow it could end up causing some problems for you. Make sure if there's something that you need to get a particular license or permit to do something, that you go through the channels to actually do it. Because there could be legalities brought against you at a later date, or there could be some kind of problems that could arise by you not having a license or permit. Maybe it's to build an addition on your house. Maybe it's to make your home where you're going to have people come and do business in your home. Or you're going to rent out part of your home to, a renter, to have renters. Wherever you need, or a business you want to run. If you need a license or a permit in anything, make sure you get it, because it will have some backlash for you later if you don't. You got to be careful if you find yourself getting intertwined with a new group or bunch of people in some way. Be aware of who you're dealing with and what you're getting involved with, because I feel like they could have some shady undercurrents. They could be doing illegal dealings, or they could be into some things that you don't know about. So be very cautious getting involved with groups of people that you don't have a lot of information about. Tread carefully. Don't rush in, is the advice here. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I did specific readings for each sign of the zodiac on this eclipse. And I did one for the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th, 2025, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings. Those links are down below. They're on my website at theluckymermaid.com, the links, and they're on my Patreon shop. So you may want to check them out. So all that being said, now on to the element of water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. You may find, water signs, that this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo inspires you or motivates you to go to great lengths to please people. This could be bosses, this could be family members, your kids, your significant other. It could be friends or clubs or groups or organizations you belong to, or it could be like mixed up with all of them. But you may go to great lengths to please people over the next 6 months. You could be very inspired to want to sell things from the energies of this eclipse, water signs. It could be things you've created, things you've worked on, made, created. It could be things, your own personal possessions. Maybe you want to get rid of some things because you want to get new things, or maybe you have to move. But for some reason, you're going to want to sell things. Or if you own your own business, you could just be highly motivated, like, well, I really want to sell over the next 6 months. Some of you water signs, this eclipse could cause you to want to get more education. You could be taking online classes, classes in person, or just maybe even doing your own research of, wanting to learn something. Could come up here. So spending time and energy and thoughts on higher education or learning new skills comes up for the water signs. Some of you could go out on some dates with some new people that might be really off the cuff, unique, or maybe even a little scary. Or dramatic, or something that's like really stands out about them over the next 6 months. Some of you are going to get the blessing of being a lead in something. You could be a team leader, a group leader. You could get made a manager, a supervisor, or a team leader, or the lead person on some business project or something that's important to you, or it could be like a role in a play, a movie, a production of something. So you could be made the lead of something. You have to be careful of not jumping to conclusions. My guides say you have to be grounded. So even though we're not at the caution part, I did hear that, so I've got to say it now. So if you might think somebody's guilty and maybe they aren't, or you might be accusatory of somebody about something going on around you or out in the world, even on the world stage, and you might be jumping to conclusions from the energy of this eclipse. If you have to hire somebody to help you do anything, walk your dog, landscaping, if you own a business, hire a person to work for you, or, anything, a roofer, somebody to redo your roof, whatever it is, it's going to go well for you. You're hiring the right person. It will work out. Some of you water signs are going to spend time in nature. And it could be camping, or it could be taking day trips like hikes or canoeing, or going to the beach, or just spending time out in nature, even in your own yard. This will be good for you. It's good for you to spend time out in nature, the water signs. All signs, yes, but it's what came up here, so I have to mention it. So here are the 3 cautions for the water signs. If you find yourself staying too late at your job or at a business you own, and you could avoid it, you might as well, because you're going to find out in the long run it's not worth it. So if you feel like, oh, I got to stay extra, I'm going to stay longer, I'm going to burn the midnight oil, it's not worth it. Especially if you work for another business or company, you may think, oh, this is going to get me noticed or recognized or help my case or, get them to pay more attention to me or, get me to go further in my career or job. It won't. They're not going to acknowledge it, or like they may say thanks, but that's it. Some of you need to be really careful over the next 6 months around family members, especially if you are uptight. If you're uptight and there's a family event like a family party, a gathering, a wedding, or just a family dinner, or you have to spend time with family, if you feel uptight, like really stressed and uptight, best not to go around them, because you're going to start a fight, or you're going to be snippy, or somebody's going to say something to you that's going to be off-putting to you, and it could turn into something. So if you're stressed or uptight around family, avoid those situations. Like if you had a bad day, don't hang around your family. If you're not happy with things going on in your life, don't go to a family party. These are the kind of cautions you need to be careful of. Okay, I don't know how to warn you of this, but I get that you may have to do something all over again. And one thing I do see, if you work with glass, it could break and you could have to redo it. If you had new windows put in your home or new panes of glass, they could crack and break, and that has to be replaced again. But it doesn't necessarily have to be with glass. For some of you, it is. Things that are, or like a glass camera lens, a glass window pane, a glass mirror, something you created out of glass. Any of these things could break and then you have to redo it again. If it's not involving glass, you could find yourself like you create a project or you do something, maybe even in writing on the computer, and it either gets lost, so back up your files immediately, or you look at it at a later date and you're like, this isn't right, and you may not like what you wrote, or you find out something is incorrect that you wrote as fact, and so you may have to rewrite something all over again or redo a website all over again. So like, I don't know, you got to think about what like I'm giving you the negative thing that could happen. So think of ways you could avoid these things happening. And this could occur in the first 3 months after this eclipse and the month of the eclipse, or, could go out 6 months. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So for the fire signs, the first thing I get right off the bat is like, this eclipse is trying to help you learn how to let go. And what is it that you need to let go of? It could be something that, like a grudge, or some, like a grudge or something that happened to you a long time ago, or something that just you can't seem to get past. This eclipse is trying to get you fire signs to let go. This eclipse could lead you fire signs to start dating someone new if you're single. And I feel it would go well because I get like a lot of happy, jovial, like happiness coming up with it. Some of you fire signs could buy a new home. Or if you're a first-time home buyer, you could buy a home or buy a new home. Comes up here for some of you over the course of the next 6 months. Your inventive and creative mind, fire signs, is going to be on fire. So make sure you're writing down and journaling your ideas. And you could come up with some great solutions, troubleshooting solutions to problems, either for the general public out into the world or for your own life. But you may come up with these great creative ideas and pursuits that you want to engage in or create. Some of you could find out that you have a long-lost family member and they show back up, or they get in touch with you, or you find them through one of those ancestry websites, or they find you that way. And this could even be if you are adopted or you had a child that you adopted out, like you gave up for adoption. It could even be an adoptive child coming in and saying, here I am. That could happen. Or a relative that you didn't know you had could appear now. This eclipse could lead some of you fire signs to find something that makes you feel more youthful. It could be like face creams or, red light therapy. It could be other things, or it could be things you ingest, that could make you feel more, feel younger, more youthful. So it could be affecting your appearance, but it could also be affecting your physical body. Some of you could get invited to attend some kind of gathering, and you end up being like the star of the show, or they're inviting you to be the star of the show. Is possible here. Now, here are the 3 cautions for the fire signs. You've got to be careful of getting tetanus. You could step on a nail, a tack, or get some kind of metal in your body in some way, and you may have to get your blood tested to see if you have tetanus, or you get a tetanus shot. There could also be other reasons you may need blood work done. But I keep getting like the feeling of metal, heavy metals, metal poisoning, tetanus. Like, you got to be careful of all of that. And if you're not feeling well, or you're suspecting something like that, see a doctor and get labs done and see what turns up. Some of you may find out that your job is requiring you to retake some kind of classes or training. And you may not be happy about it. You may feel like, oh, come on, I already know how to do this, or I've been doing it for years, or what are you making me retrain or do something like that? That could crop up for you now. Having to get retrained but it could be required. And so you're like, I don't want to have to do that. You need to stick to your principles, fire signs, or your beliefs about something, because there is going to be somebody that's going to try to sway you. They're going to try to sway your opinion or get you to change your thoughts or opinions about something. But you need to stick to your guns, stick to your principles. Do not let someone coerce you, manipulate you, or sway you from your opinion, because you're the one in the right. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of air. This is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. This eclipse, this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo is going to make many of you air signs really like overanalyze or go within, do a lot of deep thinking, soul searching, deep thinking, analyzing, pulling things apart in your mind. It could drive up in you that where you want to challenge people. You may want to challenge people's authority. You may want to challenge people's opinions, or, you know, whatever. Like I see you like, I'm challenging that. If you belong to a certain or some kinds of clubs, groups, or organizations, or friendship groups, I feel that some of you air signs are going to feel like, I need a break from this. Doesn't mean you won't go back to it, but there may be a few months or several weeks or a few months where you're like, I have to take a step back. And like, it could be, I feel like either you don't like what's going on in the group, or there's people in the group that are starting to get on your nerves and irritate you. This could make the air signs take a hard look at their finances, and you may really be going over your finances with a fine-tooth comb to figure out how you can reduce spending. You know, like any streaming services you could get rid of, any, you know, or consolidating credit card debt into one with a lower balance, whatever it is you need to do. I see you looking through those things, reducing debt, reducing spending. If you needed a project or a plan to get accepted and approved by a boss or an authority figure or somebody in the government or, you know, by whomever, it's like some project or plan or idea you put forth gets approved, gets accepted. Some of you will be generating more income. So it could be if you have your own business, you could have more sales, more clients and customers, more sales. That could be the case if you work for another company. Maybe they're going to give you more territory, more clients and customers, or whatever you're doing for that company. And maybe they're going to pay you more or give you some kind of commission or bonus. I feel that some of you air signs are going to start to hang out with some new people. You can make some new friends. It could be at a club, group, organization, church. Could be you move and you go to a new neighborhood, or you start getting involved in things you haven't done before. But I get you getting some new friends. That's going to be good. This is positive for you. It's not a lot. I just see like a few. Now here are the 3 cautions for the air signs. You got to be really careful. You're listening too much to other people. You may be listening to too much gossip, especially at work, or you could be watching too many things on the internet. It could be too many channels, too many people's opinions, and I feel like it's clouding your reasoning or your judgment. You don't want to let other people's opinions take over your own. I would not go sailing. Hear all those dogs barking when I said that? Wow. I get like terrible wind conditions. So if you live in an area where you could have tornadoes, hurricanes, storms, or if you are thinking of like, oh, I'm going out on this boat, I wouldn't, because there's going to be terrible wind. So you got to be careful of wind storms, that could kick up. And this could be the strongest in the first 3 months, like the month of September, October, November. but this energy could last up to 6 months. You have to, like, if you do something for somebody and they don't appreciate it, and you've gotten the vibe from them before because you've done something nice for them and they didn't really react or act like they appreciate it, don't keep doing it. I mean, that's not why you do things, right? You don't do things just to get appreciated if you're doing something out of kindness. But if you're hoping that this person or people are going to appreciate it, they really don't. So you may want to not put yourself through that and have the awareness that you going to extra lengths or trouble isn't really appreciated the way you are hoping. So think on that. That's your third caution. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for liking my videos, sharing them with others, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It does mean a lot, and it does help me a lot, so I appreciate that. I really would like to reach new people to come to my channel, but I do not think that YouTube is recommending my videos to new channels, so to new people. So I really appreciate you that are loyal watchers of my videos. And if you're interested in any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and also on my Patreon shop tab. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box and on my website, theluckymermaid.com, on the videos page. And you can get these videos on my Patreon, and that link is down below, and also on my videos page at theluckymermaid.com. So I wish you absolutely amazing energy to come to you from this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, September 21st, 2025. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.